Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Paul's POV. Today I'm doing my first impressions on the Sennheiser CX400 BT2 wireless. These are the first Sennheisers I'm ever reviewing on the channel, so I'm quite excited. And thanks to a good friend and supporter of the channel, Omkar, for sending these to me all the way from Mumbai. The packaging seems to have gotten a bit hammered, but I hope the contents are fine inside, so I'll have a look. Oh. So I have no idea about these earphones except that they were launched about a year ago. I don't know about the features, but off the box it says it's got a 7mm dynamic driver, customizable touch controls, a 20-hour battery life, which is kind of, these are the few things you expect of earphones these days. Another question is, considering it's a year old, does it really hold up? But I think when I first got this, I checked online. I think this is going for some really good deals now. So let's see if this is really worth it right now. Yeah, so that's the box. A lot of literature, paperwork, and under that you get cable, USB-C cable, separate ear tips, all in individual packaging for some reason. Some more paperwork there. Oh man, there's a lot of paperwork. Why does this have so much paperwork? Look at that. There's that and there was this to begin with. Like, who's going to read all of this? Oh, there's another bit of paper in this. Is this the warranty card? It's a very deep case actually. Lovely mirror finish Sennheiser logo, and it's got its USB-C charging slot at the back, and this must be the reset and pairing button. Very neat. It's got a powder finish, and it is a very deep case actually. How do I show that to you? One sec, let me see if I can find my... Yeah, so to give you an idea of how deep this case is, this is the Nothing Year One, but it's also quite slim at the same time. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what these things are all about. So this is the case, and you flip it open and you've got your earphones on the inside. Wow, this is nice quality. How much were these? MRP was around 16 or 17,000 I think. These look it. There's no complaint there on fit and finish. It's top quality. I usually, well, compared to the other earphones I've reviewed recently, I think this is the best finished set that I've seen. Oh, they've got little LED notification lights on the earphones themselves. I presume these are the medium size ear tips. They're not exactly the smallest set of earphones. It takes a little getting used to putting it into the ear. But yeah, once it's in there, I don't know if you can see that. I don't think these have noise cancelling. Okay, so these have an app that's called Sennheiser Smart Control app. Let me go and download that and see. This does have touch controls according to the manual. One tap is a play pause, two taps is previous, and press and hold for volume. Oh, that's always a nice feature to have. Tap once to answer and end call. Insert earbud into your ears with slight twist. Okay, I've done that. It's a bit uncomfortable actually when you twist it in. These are a bit big. EQ is a really funky looking graphic that you can play with to increase or decrease bass, treble, but yeah, you can control your bass, your mids and your highs. 3-band EQ right here. Anyway, this says my battery's at 100%, so let's jump in and see how these things sound. What shall we listen to? Hang on. Yeah, let me just pause this. Something doesn't seem right. It's just too tinny. Something must be wrong. One sec. Something isn't right, so I'll just check this out. Okay, there was a serious problem. Because I wasn't expecting Sennheisers to sound the way I just heard them. They were terrifically tinny. There was no depth. There was no detail. Turns out the ear tip size wasn't correct for me. So these have extra small, medium and large with the mediums on. So I was using the mediums, and obviously it wasn't fitting properly. So these earphones just sounded absolutely useless. I've just swapped these to the small ear tips, which is strange because I usually use mediums. But for Sennheiser, I guess their sizing is different, and they sound really nice. The way these sit in your ear seems to be very important, because depending on how I angle these, there's a huge change in depth. But I'm listening to everything on flat. The EQ is not on my phone. The EQ is not on the app right now. And it's Sennheiser. It just screams Sennheiser. Crisp highs, slightly muted. They're not too shrill. It doesn't hurt your ear. It's soft. It's smooth. You can hear every breath she's taking just before she belts out every lyric. This is a beautiful piece. If you haven't heard it, you just have to. It's just a piano, it's just a bass, and her voice. Voice is coming through very clearly. It's just about cutting past the piano and the bass. Very clear. It's a lovely recording. Let's move to something a little heavier. Maybe Dua Lipa. My go-to track has to be Don't Start Now. Again, the bass, I find it's affected by how these sit in your ear. You have to find the right spot. But these sit really firmly. I don't think you're going to have these earphones dropping out if you're into gymming and exercise. These are definitely in there. But the way they sound is crucial, along with the way they fit. It seems to be a symbiotic relationship. Do I have the right ones in the right place? Yeah, this is left. Maybe I'll swap between the medium ear tips and the small ear tips for the in-depth review, just to see what the difference is. So that's that for my first impressions. They've got really neat touches like superior sound tailored to you when you unbox it, and this is the Sennheiser touch. But anyway, getting back to the earphones, the fit and finish is superb. They're definitely at another level compared to most of the budget earphones that I usually review. Let me just quickly check and see how much they're worth today if you were to buy them. These things are going for 7,919 now. So considering, oh, and they come in white as well. Considering they were at an MRP of 17,000, it looks like they're on a discount of 9 grand. I'm a bit iffy right now about the sound. I think I'm doing something wrong with the earbuds, with the ear tips. I will take my time to sit and assess and analyze exactly how these sound, and I will come back with a more in-depth review of these earphones. If you're interested in knowing about the more in-depth details about this, I will be coming out with an in-depth review sometime soon. So if you'd like to see that, remember to subscribe to my channel to get that notification. And thank you for tuning into Paul's POV for some sound advice.